Good evening and welcome to the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We got a pretty long stream schedule for tonight's event. 4 heat races, top 5 in each heat make the feature, and then after that it is last chance qualifying. The winner of each last chance qualifier makes the makes the feature. Sorry. But I think we have 23 drivers here, so everyone will make the feature. Feature is a 100 lap race, and the winner gets $100. So qualifying is underway at the moment. Determine who goes in what heat. I don't know the size of each heat particularly. So we will just have to see how many heats there will be. But currently looking at Aiden L. Walker doing his laps right now. But I think that I saw in practice that we only had about 23 or 24 drivers in the field tonight. So we will just have to see how things shake out for the layout, as Aiden Walker hits the ball pretty hard. Looking at the 96 of James Thurston right about now. And this qualifying does not set the qualifying order for the feature. It just determines who qualifies in what heat, so they can qualify for the feature. But I have a feeling that this is going to be a pretty uneventful beginning section to this, because I think everyone makes it. I think we have exactly 23 drivers duking it out. And the cutoff for the feature was 23. James Thurston coming around to start his second lap, his flying lap around here. Hugging low to that blue line, making sure not to hit the apron. Good 1 and 2 from James Thurston, but the corners are different. Can he improve on his previous lap? Using all of that white and blue line coming out of turn 4. And let's see what time he'll get. Yeah, seems like it was slightly slower than his lap 1 speed, so he'll be in 4th position for the time being. As he spins it out and flips over into turn 3. About a minute and a half left in qualifying for the All-Star race. As James Thurston seems pretty content on just playing around until qualifying is over, which I can't really blame him for, because not much is happening at the moment. .47 seconds left, and I don't think anyone besides Malachi Drake is on track, and Malachi Drake just doing laps right now just to pass the time and get more acquainted with this track. But it seems like the qualifying order is going to be pretty set in stone. And And yes, we have 23 drivers for tonight's event, as I believe Shockey Tarpley disconnected during practice. So that went from 1 driver missing to 0 drivers missing. So hold on for just 1 second while I see the heat orders real quick. Okay, now that we're back from intermission, we're going to be doing the qualifying order a little bit differently because of the heat. So on the inside of row number 1 is number 2 of Van Drummond qualifying on the pole for heat 1. On the outside is going to be the 39 of Aiden L. Walker. On the inside of row 2 for heat number 1 is the number 60 of Zachary Trevino. On his outside is the number 32 of David Hamrick. In 5th is the 54 of Trevor Huff. On his outside is the number 99 of Sean Rowe. Max Ford starts in 7th in that number 33 with Joseph Lewis next to him. Barrett Polhema starts in 9th in heat 1 with Adam Contreras on his outside. And then Chase Crawl rounds out the field for the first heat of tonight's All-Star race. Top 5 make it here. And the rest will be sent to last chance qualifying. But I believe that since 23 people make it, it won't really be necessary. This is just more to determine qualifying order in the feature. But we're gearing up to go green for a 20-lap dash here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. While we're doing this, weather right now, 79 degrees, winds blowing northwest at 2 miles per hour, and the forecast is partly cloudy. Just wanted to get that out of the way before the pace car inevitably pulls into pit lane, and we are about to go green. Pace car is in. And green flag is out for the first heat of the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Design Cup Series All-Star Race. A big wiggle from the 39 of Aiden Walker on the outside. Hammer went right into the back of 39. Luckily, Walker did not get turned around too much. But it is Van Drummond leading the way here as Trevor Huff, my apologies, is all over the inside of the 39, looking to make a move for third place. A little bit of contact on corner exit, but looks like it didn't slow down either driver too much. And Trevor Huff is going to have the preferred line. He's going to clear himself in front of Aiden Walker and move up to the 3rd spot. David Hamrick started in 4th, and he has only gone backwards since the start of this race. 3 wide. Sean Rowe goes to the bottom on the inside of Hamrick and Polhemus. They're getting really close to each other. Hamrick has to back out a little bit as Polhemus clears up top. And now Bryce Hamrick is under attack from the 99 of Sean Rowe. And Adam Contreras right behind him as well. But Hamrick doing a good job of holding off that top side. A little bit of contact between the 32 and the 99 as Sean Rowe slots in between Hamrick and Contreras. Back towards the front, Trevor Huff is all over the back end of Zachary Trevino. And this is allowing Van Drummond to start to pull away. He's about 0.3 of a second ahead of Trevino, and he just at the fastest lap of the race. That clean air is definitely helping. In the back, Sean Rowe is getting around David Hamrick, and looks like the same thing is going to be the case with Contreras, as Hamrick looks like he got a little bit tight. The corner has to get off the gas. Will he be able to stay alongside Contreras? No, he won't. Going back to Aiden Walker, he is right behind Trevor Huff, who is trying to find a way around Zachary Trevino right now. Coming to 15 laps to go here at Charlotte. And pretty steady single file racing for the time being. Yeah, not much happening throughout this tiny heat field, but sometimes it's what you need. You don't need a wreck to put you back in the feature. But here's Aiden Walker running higher up to try to get that run off the corner. He might be able to dive to the inside of Trevor Huff, but he looks like he's going to be sticking it up high, trying to get as much clean air on the front end of that 39 car as possible. And he's going to have a good run down the front stretch. Will he be able to make anything of it as he crosses the start-finish line? Looks like not. He's still going to be running higher up. As Trevino, I wouldn't say that he's holding up Trevor Huff and Aiden Walker, but Van Drummond is already half a second away. I think Trevino is just trying to lock in a good finish for this heat race, so he could get a good qualifying spot for the feature. Further towards the back, Adam Contreras is all over the back end of Sean Rowe, and Sean Rowe looking to the inside of Barrett Bohemus as Bohemus is up against the wall. Did not get a very good entry into turn 1 and scraped the wall like mad. Going back to Aiden Walker. Still not able to get the run that he's looking for on that 54. Looks like the 54, it might be getting a run on Zachary Trevino soon. Looking to his inside, Trevino shuts the door, and Huff is all over the back end of that 60 car. As I believe whoever finishes second in this race will start third in the feature, since there are only 2 heats. This is the closest battle on track right now between Trevor Huff and Zachary Trevino. And yeah, Huff is definitely trying to get some clean air on that car, but further back through the field, Sean Rowe working his way through the field for the final transfer spot in this heat race on Max Ford. Gets to his inside. Ford shuts the door. Sean Rowe had to back out just a little bit to not hit that number 33. But Rowe wants to get around Ford as fast as possible. Time's running out. He's only got about 10 or 9.5 laps remaining to make a move. And Max Ford definitely is not making it easy for the driver of that 99 car. But for second place, Trevor Huff trying to get alongside Zachary Trevino. Trevino got a better run out of the corner, and Huff could not side draft to keep him alongside. Now Trevor Huff trying to run a little bit higher up to get that run off the corner. Going back to the battle between Sean Rowe and Max Ford. Rowe gets to the outside, a little bit of contact maybe between the 99 and 33. Big save by the 99. I doubt he's going to be too happy by essentially getting doored by the 33. I don't know if the 33 was just trying to side draft him or something and just got a little too close and knocked him to the side of Sean Rowe, but I doubt he's going to be very happy about that when they're racing for a transfer spot. Now Adam Contreras looks to the inside of Max Ford. Ford blocking like his life depends on it, but he gets a really shallow entry and has to check up a lot through that corner. And now Sean Rowe looking to follow Adam Contreras. Max Ford blocks, and these things are getting really dicey here for about 5th place. Ford going all the way to the top. Oh, he's in the wall. Damage on the right front of that 33 car. Contreras is now the last car in the transfer spot with 7 laps to go. And further up through the field, Aiden Walker now trying trying to mount something on Trevor Huff. Huff still on his inside coming into turn 1 and 2. Side by side, about dead even through the center of the corner, but Aiden Walker is going to have the better run off the corner. He's going to be able to clear. Trevor Huff, as Max Ford has slipped back a considerable amount of space. I think that initial wall hit slowed him up, but now what he did with Sean Rowe is definitely putting him out of contention for the transfer spot. He's about 6/10 behind Adam Contreras, the last car in right now, with 5 laps to go. Further up through the field, Trevor Huff looking to make a move back on Aiden Walker, but I don't think much is going to come of it, as it's better to just accept a transfer than trying to get a better spot and wrecking yourself in the process. But as you can see, the track has dimmed significantly. There is probably a big cloud over the track as Trevor Huff gets a huge run on the inside of Aiden Walker, side by side through the center of 3 and 4. Huff slides up. Walker grabs the wall a little bit. Maybe a little bit of contact made between 39 and 54. 4 laps to go here, or 3 laps to go, my apologies. Side by side into turns 1 and 2. Huff with the preferred line, and he's going to slide up right in front of Aiden Walker to take 3rd place back. But now Walker looking to throw it on the inside of Trevor Huff, trying to make it stick. Gets a little tight. Ooh, almost got into the quarter panel of Huff. That could have ended badly, but Walker was able to get out of it and only had to pay with a little scrape on the wall. But it looks like right now, as it stands, the top 5 are set in stone. Van Drummond has pulled away to a 7/10 of a second lead over the rest of the field here in the first heat. Going to the widescreen cam. White flag in the air for Van Drummond for the first heat, and it's not really that much of a contest. About 8/10 separating Van Drummond and Zachary Trevino. Coming through turns 3 and 4, everyone's single file, and it's going to be Van Drummond taking the win in heat number 1 here for the All-Star race. Top 5, Van Drummond, Zachary Trevino, Trevor Huff, Aiden Walker, and Adam Contreras. And waiting for Heat 2 to start. It should be in a couple of seconds. Almost everyone has gridded, and we're just waiting for the last couple people to grid so we can get our starting lineup done with. Starting in first of heat number 2 is Tyler Curley, followed by James Thurston on his outside. In third in heat number 2 is the 7 of Joey Beck. Cole Denton is going to start to his outside in the number 46. Michael Corometis, the number 86, is starting in 5th in heat number 2. And on his outside is number 67 of Jacob Malone. Nicholas Martinez Jr. starts in 7th in that number 48 in heat number 2. On his outside is number 17 of Dominic Barbagallo. Inside of row number 4 is Malachi Drake, starting in 9th. And on his outside is the number 98 of Sam Brochu. Right behind them, starting the inside, is the 51 of Brady Wildman, and starting in last in heat number 2 is the 31 of Ollie Reeves. So 12 cars in this heat race. Let me hide that. And still the same 5 spots up to grab, or up for grab, sorry, here tonight. And it's going to be Tyler J. Curley trying to hold off James Thurston, Joey Beck, Cole Den, and Michael Korometis for the win in the heat. But as long as you finish within the top 5, you are guaranteed a spot in the feature. We might have an LCQ of everyone who just finished outside of the top 5 in both heats, but I don't really think that will be necessary. Base car is in, waiting for Tyler Curley to hit the loud pedal. Green flag is out, and about an equal start. A little bit of a wiggle from the 77, and James Thurston's going to have the advantage coming across the stripe. Side by side into turn 1. Both lines very packed up and close to each other. But Tyler Curley able to get clear of James Thurston. He's going to clear up top, and he's going to be running that high line down the backstretch. Thurston looking low to Curley, but Curley shuts the door in Thurston's face. Coming out of the corner, it's going to be Tyler Curley leading lap 1 as Joey Beck and Joey Beck and Cole Denton doing battle at the moment for the 3rd position. Most of the field still side by side. Denton not able to get free of Joey Beck just yet. Now he finally does, clearing to the bottom. But now it's a battle for the last transfer spot between Michael Korometis and Jacob Malone. Malone with a big run on the outside, not able to get clear of that 86 just yet. Side by side into turns 1 and 2 for that illustrious 5th spot. Korometis pushes up a little bit, but he doesn't get into the 67. The 67 is going to have the draft down the front stretch, and he's going to be able to clear Korometis with a gutsy move to the inside. Almost runs over the 7 of Joey Beck, and now Sam Broach looking to the inside of Korometis. Beck in the wall a little bit. Here comes Malone to the inside. Malone to the inside of Joey Beck. Korometis almost gets in the back of Joey Beck. Beck seems to be pretty slow down the straightaway for some reason as Beck gets into the wall and turns 1 and 2. 3 wide. Hopefully keep it straight. Looks like they do, but Beck is sliding like a rock. Now Korometis to the inside of the 67 of Malone. Side by side. No contact made. Just hard racing here at Charlotte for the 4th spot. Both of these drivers are in the transfer spot, but Sam Brochu, who is from the outside looking in, wants their positions as a little bit of a wiggle from Malone as he might have come down a little too early across Korometis' nose. It is all packed up for 4th and 5th right here. It is Malone and Brochu currently in, trying to hold off Joey Beck and Michael Korometis. Brochu looking to the outside, trying to get that run on the outside. A little bit of a wall hit from the 98 that keeps the 67 in front. Now Joey Beck battling with Michael Korometis for the 6th spot. Joey Beck running all the way up top as Korometis holds the bottom strong. Side drafting from the 86, slowing up the 7, but the 7's going to get clear of the 86. Now Joey Beck looking to the inside of Sam Brochu for the last transfer spot, the last spot within the top 5, and he's not able to be cleared just yet. Brochu's able to hold on to his quarter panel like a champ. Side by side into turns 1 and 2. Great racing that we're having for the last transfer spots here, as Brochu able to get clear of Beck, but now he has to go back up high to block Korometis. And will Beck dive into the corner? Oh, yes, he will. He'll get into Sam Brochu. And the caution comes out. Stop the count. As Brochu nudges it into the inside wall. But let's get a better look at what happened right there. Looking at Sam Brochu, it looks like he just wasn't expecting Joey Beck to dive in that hard, try to take a late apex, and he was already committed to coming down the track, and there's Joey Beck just barely getting into him. That happens at these multi-lane tracks. You try to go from the bottom to the top, and someone can just send it in there, and that can immediately spell out problems. Luckily, no one else hit Sam Brochu, so it looks like just right front damage, as I believe everyone is coming into pit lane, with the exception of Jacob Malone and Nicholas Martinez Jr., Michael Corometis, Ollie Reeves, and Dominic Barbagallo. But everyone behind them, so about half the field has pitted and half the field has not. So we are going to have a very interesting, I believe, 10 laps to go, as Brady Wildman, Malachi Drake, Sam Brochu, Joey Beck, Cole Den, James Thurston, and Tyler Curley all came into pit lane under caution. Corometis with a little bit of front end damage. Hopefully that doesn't affect his car too much on the restarts. But a very interesting strategy call from the 67 of Jacob Malone, especially considering how hard he's been battling people like Sam Brochu and others for the last transfer spot. So will his tires have a lot less grip than the cars that pitted? Granted, we've only had 8 laps on said tires, but you never know with these next-gen cars. So I believe this time by the pace car lights will be going out. And yes, drivers are choosing their preferred lines. Jacob Malone choosing the inside line, and Nicholas Martinez Jr. choosing the outside line. It's going to be pretty tough for these drivers who did go into pit lane to make their way to the front, because they're going to have a gaggle of arguably slower cars in front of them since they're on older tires. But that's the beauty of tire strategy. It causes these situations to occur. Going to be going green flag racing again with 10 laps to go here at heat number 2 of the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. I believe this is Jacob Malone's first lap sled in an SRL race, since I believe his first appearance was at Twin Ring Motegi a couple weeks ago. Well, pace car lights are off. We're going to be going green flag racing this time by Jacob Malone is the control car. He's going to be leading Nicholas Martinez Jr. and 11 other cars back to the green flag pace cars and waiting for Malone to hit the gas pedal. And green flag is out. Seems like Malone waited for the green flag to drop before hitting the gas. And Martinez side drafting the heck out of Malone. Corometis sees an opportunity to try to force it 3 wide. Looks like Martinez did a good job of blocking, but now Corometis is the lone man stuck up top. Hits the wall a little bit. He's going to be sliding back through the field. Ollie Reeves, the inside of the 48, has to back off, and the caution does come out. James Thurston is backwards, facing the wrong way, going into turn number 3. Did not see what happened right there. Let's get a replay on that real quick, but it doesn't look like too much damage on that 96 car. So it looks like, Thurston just got stuck between a rock and a hard place. He had Brady Wildman on his inside, and he had Michael Corometis bouncing off the wall on his outside. Not much for the 96 to do. He just got stuck in the wrong place at the wrong time. But luckily, not too much damage on that 96 car, although it'd probably be in his best interest to get any possible damage repaired. But now that heat has gone into the tires of some of these cars, it makes you wonder how effective they'll be, since they're somewhat up to temperature compared to the 67 and 48. First car on newer tires is Tyler Curley in fourth, but that means that he's going to be starting behind either Jacob Malone or Nicholas Martinez Jr. But while we are waiting for the green flag to come back out, I can play a commercial from our sponsor, Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs.
Are you looking for something to make you look good out in front of your competitors? Well, look no further than Snowman Studios. SMS specializes in iRacing designs just for you, from NASCAR to IMSA to late models. SMS can make you a personalized paint. Snowman Studios, making you look good out front.
I mean, what a great commercial that was. But we are still under caution here at Charlotte for heat number 2 of the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. Jacob Malone is currently leading as we are going to 1 lap to green. Looks like Malone is going to be choosing the inside once again, and Martinez is going to be choosing the outside. Where will Tyler Curley? Tyler Curley is choosing the outside against one of the most defensive drivers in this league. Maybe he thinks that he can get a better start than Nicholas Martinez Jr. and maybe power by to the outside on the start to take the lead. But it is always tough passing that 48 Chevy of Nicholas Martinez Jr. He's definitely a fighter when it comes to defending his positions. But we will be going green with 6 laps to go. Jacob Malone has 6 laps to try and hold off 11 other very hungry cars here, as the entire field is going to be bunched up for this restart, with Jacob Malone as the control car and that number 67 on the inside. Very slowly through 3 and 4. I believe pace car speed here is 55 miles per hour, if I'm not mistaken. But pace car is going to pull into the pits real soon, and we'll be going green flag racing in about 10 seconds. Pace car is in, waiting on Jacob Malone to hit the gas. And green flag is out. About an equal start, but Dominic Barbagallo goes around. And that number 17. No caution called for that. But no one on the inside of Malone to help him, as Martinez got really loose. I don't know if he got pushed loose by Tyler Curley or not, but he falls to the field like a rock. But now Tyler Curley battling with another driver on fresh tires. That's Brady Wildman, and this is what the 31 and the 67 want to see. They want to see drivers on fresh tires battling each other and heating up their tires. 5 laps to go. Curley running really high. Wildman running to the bottom. Cole Denton slaps the wall a little bit, almost gets into Wildman, but now Ollie Reeves looks to the inside of Jacob Malone for the lead, and we have a new leader into turn 3. It's the 31 of Ollie Reeves, who started all the way in the back of the field, but there's a very hungry number 77 coming up right on these 2 leaders, running about a tenth faster than the 2 leaders. He definitely has more grip compared to other drivers, as he's right on the back end of Jacob Malone. Malone going to the bottom to try to get to the inside of Reeves, perhaps. not able to get it done, but he's still clear of Curly for the time being. But Curly with a massive run down the front straightaway, looks high. Malone shuts the door on the outside and then dives to the bottom. Curly is hungry for the lead. Malone looking to block up top. Almost, he might have put Curly into the wall a little bit, but Curly gets around Malone, and now Tyler Curly having to try and catch that 31 car as he scrapes the wall entering turn 3. But he's going to have a great run down the front stretch, and we have the caution coming out. Goodness gracious. Michael Korometis is slow, and we'll have to see what caused that. Looking at it, it looks like Brady Wildman just gets a little tight up the track and just gets Korometis all out of sorts, and he has to lock down the brakes and just slides down the front stretch. Obvious caution needed to be called, so I can't really fault the caution coming out. But we were just about to enjoy a great battle for the lead between Tyler Curley and Ollie Reeves. And I don't know if there are green-white checkers in these heat races. Because we have 3 yeah, we are going to green flag checkered territory in heat number 2. I didn't think that we would need the green-white checkered for a 12-car field, but here we are. We are currently, if this was a normal race, we would be on the last lap right now. We are currently on lap 20, but it is being extended for a green-white checkered. So pace car lights should be going off next time by to start off this green-white checker, and I think we'll be doing 24 total laps here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the second heat of the All-Star race. And it's up to Ollie Reeves to try and defend against that very fast number 77 of Tyler Curley. Reeves started all the way in the back of this heat field, going to choose the inside line. And Tyler Curley going to start on the outside. So it's imperative that Ollie Reeves gets a good restart as Cole Den comes in with a big head of steam, almost runs into the back of Tyler Curley. And Jacob Malone also choosing the inside line. Interesting strategy call from that 67. You'd think that he'd choose the high side to try and use the draft from the faster 77 car. But he's the one behind the wheel and not me. I am just an outside observer and speculator. But Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Sam Brochu currently catching up to the field as we are pacing back to the green flag. As Ollie Reeves blinks out for a second, but seems like everything is A-okay on his end, and that Ollie's furniture outlet, number 31. Pace car going to be pulling into pit lane at any moment as we are gearing up for the green-white checkered up heat number 2. Pace car is in, waiting for Ollie Reeves to hit the gas. Green flag is out. A better start for Ollie Reeves, but a little bit of contact between the 31 and the 77. They are side by side Entering turn 1, Joey Beck to the inside in 4th place. There are 3 wide as Joey Beck clears up top. And now Jacob Malone battling Tyler Curley for the 2nd position. This might be exactly what Ollie Reeves needs to secure the win for Heat 1. Curley blows past Jacob Malone out of turn 4. White flag in the air. Back to the inside of Malone. He's going to slide back to 4th. But can Tyler J. Curley catch up to Ollie Reeves in at number 31? He's going to have a great run coming into turn 3. He's going to go up high. But here comes Joey Beck on the bottom. Beck going to have to force Tyler Curley up high. And Ollie Reeves has successfully defended the lead against a bunch of other cars to take the win in heat number 2. As we're getting word that Cole Denton wrecked in the back. And your top 5 is Ollie Reeves, Tyler Curley, Joey Beck, Jacob Malone, and Michael Korometis. As I believe this is the warm-up period. So while we wait for warm-up to end, we're going to go to about a 4.5 minute intermission period. So I can get something to drink to quench my parched throat. Okay, so the warm-up period is now over, and I can now go over the starting lineup for tonight's event here at Charlotte for the feature race of the All-Star race. So first let me see if the okay, so it's still going off qualifying results. So we have to do the way I've been doing your qualifying order for the heat races. So waiting on Van Drummond to start. Van Drummond will start on pole for the feature race, then followed by Ollie Reeves, and then behind them is going to be the 60 of Zachary Trevino, and his outside is the 77 of Tyler J. Curley. Inside of this third row is going to be the number 54 of Trevor Huff in fifth. First car outside the top five is the number 7 of Joey Beck. Behind them on the inside is the number 39 of Aiden L. Walker, and on his outside is going to be the 67 of Jacob Malone. Adam Contreras starts 9th in the number 92, and the last car inside the top 10 is number 86 of Michael Corometis. First driver outside of the top 10 is going to be the number 99 of Sean Rowe in 11th, and on his outside is going to be the number 90 of Malachi Drake. Baird Bohemus in the 79 starts in 13th with Brady Wildman in 14th. David Hamrick did not grid. He's supposed to start 15th, but starting in 16th is the number 48 of Nicholas Martinez Jr. Behind them in the number 28 is Joseph Lewis, and on his outside is going to be Dominic Barbagallo in the number 17. Behind them is Max Ford in number 33, and on his outside is number 96 of James Thurston. Behind them is the number 88 of Chase Crow. On his outside is going to be Sam Brochu, and starting in last is going to be the number 46 of Cole Denton, the last car to make it in the feature race. But we have 100 laps here for $100 to the winner, and it's going to be Van Drummond leading the way for the feature race to begin. Pace cars in, and green flag is out here. Better start for Van Drummond than Ollie Reeves. The outside line got a little bit backed up on the start, but everything seems to be pretty orderly for the time being. Drummond out to an early lead as Trevor Huff is making his way to try to get around Ollie Reeves in that 31. As we almost went 3 wide back there with Adam Contreras blocking Barrett Bohemus to the blue line for the 8th spot. But Ollie Reeves is now in a tense battle with Trevor Huff for the 3rd spot. And it looks like Huff is going to make it work. That outside line not having any pole right now through the center of the corner. It is all inside line mania right now. But Van Drummond is starting to pull away. Tyler Curley looks to the inside of Aiden L. Walker for the 5th spot. Walker with a better drive off the corner. And he's going to be able to clear Curley. And here comes Joey Beck in the 7 around the outside of Adam Contreras as the caution already comes out. Let's see what caused it. Hold on for just one moment while we figure out what happened. Currently looking at Dominic Barbagallo and Sam Brochu. Barbagallo on the inside and Brochu on the outside. Brochu came down and Barbagallo was coming up. Just a racing incident off of the exit of the corner. But I don't think much damage was done to either car, as Barbagallo was able to save it and Brochu kept it going straight. So both these drivers should be considering themselves pretty lucky that they did not get more damage than they needed to. So on lap number 3 out of 100, we already have a caution out, and it is Van Dremen leading the way in that white number 2. As we're going to be going 2 to green for this restart. Looks like a couple drivers went down pit lane. Cole Denton, Malachi Drake, and Max Ford, maybe to repair some damage or to drop to the back, because maybe they sense that more wrecks are on their way, perhaps. Ugh. My legs are cold. It is quite dark on the track right now, waiting for the lights to come on, and looks like they haven't come on just yet. So the track is very cool right now. Should be plenty of grip to try different lines, as this was billed as a day 2 night race. Hence the sunset starting time. And this looks like the sun is setting in 1 and 2 right now. But pace car lights should be going off this time by. It's going to be Van Dremen and Zachary Trevino leading the way back to the green flag. So he's going to be on lap number 7 is when that happens. And seems like both Drummond and Trevino choose the outside line. That's going to allow Aiden Walker to pole vault to the inside. So it is going to be Van Drummond and Aiden Walker leading the field to the green flag, since Trevino decided to go on the high side. It looks like he's just looking to follow what seems to be the fastest car on track right now. But everyone still in this race, as that last caution between Sam Brochu and Dominic Barbagallo was only minor damage and nothing that should affect either driver too much, as Ollie Reeves is dropping to the back for some reason. But either way, Van Drummond in turn 3 and 4 going to lead the field, and we'll have to see if Aiden Walker gets a good restart to maybe be able to clear him through turns 1 and 2, but it all comes down to how good of a restart he gets. Pace car is in, waiting for Van Drummond to lead the field to the green flag. Green flag is out, and Van Drummond gets a great start. Big wiggle from the 77 of Tyler Curley, as I believe he spins to the inside. Yeah, that car spins out, and he's all the way in last. No caution called for that, as he spun safely to the inside. But first battle right now is between Barrett Pohemus and Joey Beck, side by side down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Pohemus with the preferred line on the bottom, but he's going to be sliding up really high up into Joey Beck. Beck scrapes the wall a little bit, and Pohemus blocks Sean Rowe. Now it's 3 wide in the back for 7th place, I believe. Jacob Malone, Sean Rowe, and Barrett Pohemus. Thurston looking to join in on the action on the bottom, but Pohemus racks it around the high side in the back. I thought for a second that we had 3 wide action with Chase Crawl, as drivers are trying to work their way to the front of the field, as we have drivers hitting the exit of turn 4 a lot. But side by side between Adam Contreras and Joey Beck for the 5th position. Beck going up really high in the corners. Pohemus slaps the wall, but doesn't bounce off the wall and hit anybody. Side by side still for 5th place between Joey Beck and Adam Contreras. Beck pushing up the track a little bit, but doesn't get into Contreras, and Sean Rowe looking to follow looking to follow in Joey Beck's footsteps, but Bohemus is getting a great run down the front stretch thanks to running higher up, and he might be able to clear Sean Rowe on corner exit. Looks like he will. Joey Beck still hanging on the side of Adam Contreras, but now Bohemus gives Contreras a big shove, and Bohemus going to the outside of that number 7. So side by side for 6th place between Barrett Bohemus and Joey Beck at the moment. Bohemus with the advantage. Beck stuck on the bottom, not able to do a whole lot. Still side by side into turns 1 and 2. Huff going to the inside of Zach Trevino, and looks like he was almost clear. I think he might have put the 60 in the wall for a second, as that really checked up the outside line. And Trevino is starting to slide back 3 wide. Oh, this could be really hairy. Yes, it's going to be hairy. Trevino goes around right in front of the field, and I can't get to him close enough. I don't know if anyone hit him or not, but all I saw was the car went around. Hopefully no one hit him. Let's get a replay on that really quick, as there is some damage to the front end of Zachary Trevino. So we all saw what happened. Just a 3-wide incident, and yeah, Joey Beck just gets to Trevino. Big hit to the outside wall. Ollie Reeves scrapes the wall trying to avoid him and Joseph Lewis. But it looks like the person who got the worst of that was Trevino, who has some front end damage. See if I can get a better... Yeah, that left front is all pushed in. That's going to be some extensive damage to that 60 car, which is unfortunate because he was having a good heat race up to this point. But there are a lot of laps left here to go. We still have 88 laps to go. So more than enough time, especially if we get more cautions, to get repairs done. Your top 5 at the moment is Van Drummond, Aiden Walker, Trevor Huff, Adam Contreras, and Barrett Bohemus. Outside of the top 10 in 6th, it is Joey Beck, then followed by Sean Rowe, Nicholas Martinez Jr., James Thurston, and Jacob Malone to round out the top 10. So I believe the lights might have just come on here at Charlotte, judging by the shadows on the track. Pace car lights, Jesus, sorry. Pace car lights should be coming off this time by, as Aiden Walker might be trying to just follow Van Drummond wherever. Van Drummond going to choose the inside. Will Aiden Walker choose the outside? Yes, he will. It's going to be Van Drummond on the inside with Aiden Walker right behind him. Trevor Huff starting on the outside of row number 2 with Adam Contreras on the inside of row number 2. So a very strong first 2 rows here. Drivers who know how to win in the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series, or at least contend for the lead. As Van Drummond won at Twin Ring, Aiden Walker came really close to winning at Portland. Adam Contreras won the Clash at Legacy Daytona earlier in the season, and Trevor Huff is just a renowned all-around good driver. So we have a very exciting 86 laps to go to look forward to when the green flag drops once again. It's going to be Van Drummond leading the way and leading the field to the green flag. Aiden Walker looking to get a better start than he did last restart, and he has Trevor Huff right behind him. Pace car is in waiting for Van Drummond to hit the gas to kick off another restart. Green flag is out, and about an equal start for both lines. A great start from Aiden Walker, actually, and Trevor Huff is right behind him, much more connected than Adam Contreras was. And now Aiden Walker side by side with Van Drummond. He's going to get the drive off of the corner, and momentarily he's going to pull ahead of that too, but the side draft is going to come into play. Aiden Walker and Van Drummond side by side for the lead of the race, coming into 3 and 4, still side by side, exiting 3 and 4. Walker has the run down the front stretch, but Drummond has the shortest way around this track. Drummond drives it into turns 1 and 2, trying to get clear. He does get clear of the 39. He's going to slide up right in front of the 39. 39 has to lift out. Car going sideways in the back. That's Martinez. And I don't know if they saved it. They definitely did not save it. That's a big wreck in the back. A 360 from Max Ford. But I saw Nicholas Martinez Jr. going around. So let's see what happened to cause that. Currently looking at Nicholas Martinez Jr. James Thurston on his inside, and it looks like Thurston just gets tight behind Sean Rowe, and that just sends his car up the track as he's getting really tight. And yeah, it just gets into the side of Martinez, and let's see what happened. Does he save it? No, he kind of just got run in from all different angles. See, Jacob Malone completely lost a wheel. Joey Beck, he was having a very strong race, and that car is destroyed as Thurston drives into him, trying to get things situated. But that is a thoroughly destroyed number 7 car, and I doubt him or the 67 are going to be back on track anytime soon, as Jacob Malone, I believe, has disconnected from the session. So unfortunate to see after a pretty promising heat race from that 67. As we are approaching 1/5 of the way through, and I think we've had 4 cautions. So hopefully the coveted Charlotte long run will come to us sometime soon. At least to get green flag pit stops in the works, because I believe that the pit window is approaching for most of these drivers to make it a one-stop race. And something that I did not mention for the feature race is that there is no halfway caution. So hopefully this goes green from lap 20 to the end, since we won't have a halfway caution at lap 51. But one can only hope. Van Drummond looks like he's going to be choosing the outside line here on the restart. Oh, actually, I lied. Looks like it's going to be single file restart due to the quick succession of the cautions for the time being. So you're definitely probably going to see all the cars hugging the outside wall to prevent anyone from gaining positions on the outside before the start finish line. As we currently have 20 cars still running right now. Joey Beck and Jacob Malone, I believe, have taken the car behind the wall and into the hauler. But it's going to be Van Drummond leading a single file group of cars. Hopefully this will lead to some green flag racing here in the All-Star race. Aiden Walker all over the back end of Van Drummond, ensuring that he's as close as possible when the green flag draws. Pace car is in. And green flag is out. A little bit of a wiggle from the 2 car, but not so great of a start from Aiden Walker either. But those two pull away quite quickly from the 54 of Trevor Huff. Adam Contreras already to the inside of Trevor Huff, and Pohemus looking to follow him through. Contreras able to clear Trevor Huff for 3rd place, but Huff with a crossover coming into turn 3. Pohemus blocks low and is able to hold off Trevor Huff for the time being. Now Pohemus looking antsy to get around that number 54. But for the lead, it is currently Van Drummond leading Aiden Walker, as Trevor Huff running a little bit higher up to get a better run down the back straight. Will he be able to jump to the inside of Contreras? Yes, he will. Looks to the inside, but Contreras shuts the door right in his face. Says no, sir, to that number 54, as Contreras is actually starting to catch the 39 of Aiden Walker a little bit for 2nd place. The single file restarts doing a good job of providing clean racing, as Trevor Huff looking to go high. Contreras goes higher and maybe gives Trevor Huff a little bit of dirty air, got him a little tight into the wall. But now Contreras is caught up to the back end of the 39 and looking to get a great exit here. Oh, he's going to have a great run down the front stretch. Where will Contreras go to get to the inside of Walker? Will he dive it down into the inside? No, he won't. Walker shuts the door right in his face, and we remain single file racing here. Go to a wider camera angle real quick just to see if anything is happening throughout the field. Doesn't look like we have too much side-by-side racing right now. Maybe towards the back, but right now we're currently not interested in the battle for 17th spot. But Trevor Huff is running really high up, and he's going to go to the inside of Contreras down the backstretch side by side for the 3rd spot. Contreras just lets Trevor Huff go. But Contreras might have a good run down the front stretch if he can get it, but it looks like he had to let off a little bit. He might have gotten a little bit tight on corner exit. Didn't want to hit the wall like so many other drivers have done. Let's go back through the field. Brady Wildman to the inside of Max Ford for the 9th spot. Max Ford gets a great drive on corner exit. Malachi Drake dives to the inside, as Brady Wildman did not get a great exit out of turn 2. Now Malachi Drake to the inside of Wildman, but can Wildman hold on to that 10th spot under attack from the number 90, as in front it is Sam Brochu and Tyler Curley battling. Still side by side for those two, as Brochu running up top, still hanging on the quarter panel of Curley. Curley's got to be not happy about Brochu hanging on his quarter panel, but he has to capitulate. He has to give the position to Brochu. But now Max Ford looking to make some trouble for that number 77, but not able to get to the inside of Curley. But Curley gets a great run out of the corner, looks to go high. Brochu can't block hard enough, and they are side by side once again for the 7th position. Curley running really high up, and he's going to power around the 98 on the inside. Brochu did not get a good corner right there, as now Max Ford looks to the inside of Brochu. So Brochu just sliding back. Max Ford running really high up. This might get ugly soon. Luckily, it did not, and Brochu is able to clear Max Ford, and Barrett Pohemus and Sean Rowe are battling for the 5th position. Pohemus gets around Sean Rowe, but Sean Rowe might have a great run coming out of the corner. Might try to pull a crossover coming into turn 3. Not able to get close enough to do it just yet. Further up through the field, Trevor Huff is all over the back end of Aiden Walker for that second spot. It's all about just timing a move, and Huff thinks that right now might be a good opportunity. Looking to the inside of that 39, not able to get close enough to side draft him and pull him back a little bit. So Huff will have to find a different opportunity to make a move on Aiden Walker. Currently, this is the closest battle right now, besides Max Ford and Brady Wildman, as Max Ford just scrapes the wall. So what an opportune time, as right behind him, Barrett Polhemus to the outside of Adam Contreras. Polhemus is on a mission right now on the outside line, but Contreras is sailing it on the inside. Can Contreras pull alongside the 79? Not able to happen. Contreras slides back to the 5th spot here. And Tyler Curley trying to get around Sean Rowe for the 6th spot. Curley to the outside, Rowe on the bottom. Curley able to just use immense amounts of grip up top and just get the power down to just power by the outside of the 99. Further up the field, Huff is still trying to get around Aiden Walker. As we approach lap number 32 here, and Aiden Walker and Trevor Huff battling is what Van Drone wants to see. He's currently about 0.8 of a second ahead of second place, but I think Walker scraped the wall a little bit. Here's a golden opportunity for Trevor Huff to try to make a move. He goes to the inside. Walker gets on the gas a lot on the outside to maintain the position, and Huff has to let off a little bit, and he'll slide right behind the 39 once again. But here comes Polhemus with a big run into turn 1. Has to back off a little bit to not run to the back of the 54, but Polhemus is stuck. He's not really stuck. He has committed to the high side, is what I mean, since that seems like the place where he is most comfortable running, and it seems to be working out for him as he has made his way through the field up there. And he's going to have a huge run on Trevor Huff into turn 1. Will he try to shoot it low? No, he won't. He's still going to try to go up top. And Adam Contreras almost got to the inside of Polhemus, but I think got a little loose on the bottom. And now Tyler Curley is going to have a great run on him down the backstretch. Curley goes up top. Contreras to the bottom. And it looks like Contreras will be able to get ahead of Curley for the time being. But for second place, Trevor Huff is given bumps to Aiden Walker. And now Polhemus looks to the inside of Trevor Huff for that 3rd spot. We saw Curley slap the wall trying to get to the outside of Contreras. Trevor Huff is pushing Aiden Walker with everything that he's got in that car, and now he's starting to power it by on the outside, side by side for second place between Trevor Huff and Aiden Walker, and Huff is able to clear Walker to take over the 2nd spot. Here comes Polhemus. Here comes Polhemus on the outside, running all the way up top. Aiden Walker thinks that he can get some speed up there by running up there as well, but I think Polhemus might try to dive low here coming into turn 3. No, he is married to that high side here. And Aiden Walker might be getting a run on the 54 of Trevor Huff here. He got a really big run out of the corner, but Polhemus gets an even bigger run. He dives to the inside of Aiden Walker for 3rd place. Side by side, 3 wide almost for 2nd place here. A great show, and looks like Walker got really loose on corner X. That's going to kill some straight line momentum. Polhemus side drafting that quarter panel as much as he can to pull Walker back to him. Polhemus running the bottom, Walker running the top. Walker should get the better run out of the corner, and he does. Polhemus slides back into the 4th position, and Trevor Huff up to 2nd place. But here's Tyler Curley as well. He's still under fire from that 92 of Contreras. Contreras getting really close to the back end, but no harm, no foul, as Polhemus looks at the inside of Aiden Walker. And he might be able to pull a slider on that 39 car. Parks the bus. Walker runs right into him. Walker's probably not too happy with that move from Bohemus, but I think Bohemus was getting really tight on the bottom. And that is slowing up Walker a lot. Tyler Curley had to check up a bunch to not run into the back of him. And now Adam Contreras on his inside as Curley slaps the wall. Dirty air might be affecting the way Tyler Curley can run that high side. And here comes Adam Contreras on the bottom with clean air trying to get around that 77. Still side by side entering turn 1 between the 92 and 77 for 5th place. Trade in places in the center of the corner. Contreras gets a little bit tight, and Contreras has to slot in behind the 77. And this has also allowed Sean Rowe to get into the mix as Contreras looks to the inside once again, but not able to make anything happen. Big wall hit from the 39 of Walker. That car is not handling all that well, but Sean Rowe with a massive run into turns 1 and 2, riding very close to the wall as the 77 and 92 are side by side once again. Now Rowe is going to get to the outside of Adam Contreras. He's going to give Curley a big push into turn 3, as he might make it 3 wide up top. He does make it 3 wide up top. Oh, Contreras did not expect that. Contact made between the 77 and 92. Contreras goes to the infield, saves it. I don't know how he saved it to not hit the pit road and get a penalty, but when you consider that, that is an amazing save by that 92 car to both not hit anything and also not get a penalty for spinning into pit road. But I don't think Contreras expected Sean Rowe to go to the outside, and he was already tracking up. But we are looking at Barrett Bohemus currently in 4th place, trying to track down that 39 of Aiden Walker. Van Drummond currently out to about an 0.8 of a second lead right now as we go further back through the field for the battle for 8th place right now between Malachi Drake and Max Ford. Waiting for stuff to spice up further up front. We're looking at some midfield battling here. Malachi Drake running up top to try to get a run on that 33, as this is about 4 seconds behind the leader right now. Malachi Drake just not able to form the run that he needs to at least make a run to the inside of that 33. As further back through the field, looks like Adam Contreras has finally gotten back up to speed with another damaged car. That is Nicholas Martinez Jr. in the 48. Two drivers battling it out for 13th place right now, but further up the field in 4th place, Barrett Bohemus has gotten to the back end of Aiden Walker and is hungry to get past him. Walker is running that high line and taking any clean air away from that 79. But I think also the 79 has been taking better care of his car, as we've seen Bohemus, I think Bohemus is taking better care of his car than Walker, as we've seen him hit the wall less than Walker has. But both cars into pit lane might be a speeding penalty for the 39, as he went in awfully fast. Van Drummond staying out right now, and let me get the pit road graphic up real quick if I can find it. Currently on pit road, you just saw I believe that was Sam Brochu exiting pit lanes. Right now it is just Aiden Walker and Barrett Bohemus. Now Trevor Huff gets on there as well. That is Tyler Curley in the 77 in there as well. Looks like Van Drummond's looking to split this race in half. Might be trying to stretch it out to lap 51 before he can get in, but he's running pretty low here. He might be pitting in right now. Yes, he is. Van Drummond gets into pit lane. Does he get in there nicely? A big wiggle. Hopefully, no speeding from the 2 car, as that hands the lead over to Sean Rowe. Who may have come into pit road on an earlier caution to top off on fuel, as he does not look interested in pitting this time by. The only driver on pit road at the moment is Van Drummond right now. Coming to halfway to go here, or the halfway mark, as Van Drummond has finally left pit lane. For a second right now, it is a dogfight between Dominic Barbagallo and Max Ford. Barbagallo to the inside of Max Ford for second place right now, but Sean Rowe went around. Oh, where's the caution? Okay, yeah, what the heck? We saw Sean Rowe just sideways, and Max Ford just hit the stopped 99 car. That is a shakeup if I've ever seen one. As let's get a replay on what happened. You're currently looking at Sean Rowe. It looks like he's trying to get onto pit lane, and the car just snapped on him and just spun up the track. And Max Ford, I mean, he's tracking out. You don't really expect a car spinning out in front of you. So just really unfortunate circumstances for that 33 car. Let's see if we can get a roll bar cam of Max Ford's point of view. As he's battling intensely with this is 17, and yeah, if he pulled down any more, he would have just doored the 17 into oblivion. So I mean, I wouldn't really say it's arc brakes. It's more like if he goes down, if he tries to pull down, one, he's fighting against old tires, and two, he's got a car on his inside. So just really unfortunate position for Max Ford to be in, as that is going to end both his and Sean Rowe's race, as both drivers got meatballs. Currently, and it looks like the current leader right now is Dominic Barbagallo in the number 17. And it really depends on how much tire people like Barrett Polhemus and others have been using, because you got people like Zachary Trevino and Michael Corometis and Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Joseph Lewis all coming in for their first set of tires, as I believe all of the drivers in front of Dominic Barbagallo right now all have to do a waiver, or all getting their wave around. But Dominic Barbagallo choosing the inside line on the restart. A definite shakeup here, as the pace car lights are out. And Barbagallo and Malachi Drake both choose the inside line. Adam Contreras chooses the outside line. These are all drivers who pit under that last yellow. As does Van Drummond have a... I don't think he has any sort of penalty. But we only have 5 cars lined up right now. Aiden Walker catching up. Same with Trevor Huff. The car. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we're having 1 extra lap of caution period. Just let everyone catch up. Don't know exactly what happened right there. Let me see if I can refresh my timing board as I can see the intervals are freaking out right now. Yeah, it looks like the intervals are just not having a good time. So we'll just have the ticker going up so it doesn't show that the leader is out of the race, because that was kind of weird. But it looks like the field has now finally caught up to everyone. And it's going to be Dominic Barbagallo. This is a sight that you don't really see that often. Dominic Barbagallo leading the field to the green flag, as previous leader Van Drummond is all the way back in 7th right now. And we have currently 13 cars on the lead lap. Last one being Cole Denton and Tyler Curley. Even I'm confused on what's happening, man. But as far as I know, we have 11 cars on the lead lap, I think. And it's Dominic Barbagallo leading the field to the green flag. We live in upside down world. Pace car is in, waiting for Dominic Barbagallo to hit the gas and bring the field back to the green flag. Green flag is at a great start from that number 17. Adam Contreras did not get as good of a start, but he's going to be able to clear low almost to Malachi Drake. And now Malachi Drake on the inside with Contreras right in front of him. Zachary Trevino has made his way back up into the top 5, currently in 4th as we are 3 wide for 5th place. Walker, Corometis, and Drummond all 3 wide. Now it is Polhemus, Corometis, and Trevor Huff still 3 wide as they cross the start-finish line. Drivers jockeying for position as Corometis has to back out. And now Van Drummond trying to work his way through the field. Currently side by side with Zachary Trevino in that number 60. As now Nicholas Martinez Jr. looks to the inside. Polhemus getting really close to the back end of the 48. Had to back out of it. And Trevino scrapes the ball right in front of Van Drummond. Drummond jumps to the inside. He's going to be side by side and able to slot in just barely in front of Trevino. Now going to the outside of Malachi Drake in that number 90. He's going to get there side by side for 3rd place between Van Drummond and Malachi Drake. Drummond still riding the high side. He's probably going to get clear of Malachi Drake, and he does. Further in the back, it is a dogfight between Nicholas Martinez Jr. and Barrett Polhemus for the 7th position. Polhemus gets a great drive into turn 1, but here comes the drive off the corner from Martinez, and he's going to be able to clear Polhemus for the 7th spot. But these battles are not even close to being finished, as for the lead, Adam Contreras goes to the outside of Barbagallo. Barbagallo getting a run off the corner, almost runs into the quarter panel of Contreras. The top 3 are under a blanket as Van Drummond is running that high line to try and build as much of a run as possible. He's to the outside of that 17. Barbagallo not looking to side draft with the 2 on the inside and the 2 on the outside. Van Drummond is going to get a good run off of the corner. Scrapes the ball just a little bit, but it's not enough to slow him down. Van Drummond moves into second place, and he might get a 2-for-1 offer right here as he dives to the inside of Contreras for the lead. We might have the leader going back to Van Drummond on lap 61, still side by side between the 2 and the 92, side drafting down the backstretch. Van Drummond with the advantage into turn 3. Is he able to clear? Not yet. Contreras still on his outside. Now Contreras is going to have a big run down the front stretch across the line, and they're about dead even. Side by side into turn 1 and 2 inches between the cars, but Drummond might have a better drive through the center of the corner. Contreras stabs the throttle, and he's going to be on the outside still of Drummond. Drummond gets a little loose on the corner, but still side drafting the 92. Still dead even coming into turns 3 and 4. What a battle for the lead that we're having between Van Drummond and Adam Contreras. Side by side out of 4. Another dead even heat across the line. They make a little bit of contact, but no harm, no foul. Still in a dead heat into turn 1, and Drummond gets a good entry into turn 1, but the crossover from Contreras might be there. Side by side down the backstretch. Will Contreras make another aggressive move just like Drummond did to slide up in front of that 2 car? Yes, he will. And now Contreras leading the way once again, with Dominic Barbagallo just sitting back and watching this unfold in front of him. Van Drummond looking to the inside of the 92 into turns 1 and 2. Contact almost made between the 2 and the 92, but they keep it clean. And Barbagallo might try to make a move on Van Drummond into turn 3. Looks like he's not interested in trying to make it happen, as Van Drummond running all the way up top to get as big of a run as possible down the hill. He's going to have a big run on Contreras entering turn 1. Does he go low or go high here? Looks like he's going to be going low. Well, Contreras assumed he was going to go high. Contreras now side by side with Drummond, gets a little bit loose, but he still pulls ahead of Drummond. What great racing we're having for the lead, as Barbagallo now is up to the bumper of Van Drummond. To the inside goes Drummond once again, inside to Contreras. Oh, he turns him! No, Contreras goes around.
Yellow flag is out.
And I can't tell if the caution came out by the time Dominic Barbagallo was able to get around Drummond. And I'm not even going to go to instrument to go to standby. Was Adam Contreras able to save the car once again? That steering wheel was full locked sideways, and while he isn't able to prevent sliding into pit road, he doesn't hit anything, which is the more important thing. You can always get your black flag cleared, but you can't get that you can't get race altering damage fixed. And Contreras did a great job of preventing that car from hitting the pit wall, as everyone goes into pit lane except for Malachi Drake in that number 90. Maybe he was saving his stuff, and that's why he was just letting people by. Or maybe he just wants to lead a lap, who knows. But Van Drummond pulls into pit lane. Brochu with a rocket ship pit stop, able to pull out ahead of Van Drummond. So, and Barrett Bohemus pulls out in front of all of them. So it looks like Barrett Bohemus and Sam Brochu gambling on a 2-tire strategy here. There was a lot of talk among SRL drivers, I believe during it was either the Chicagoland or Motegi race, about the efficacy of 2-tire stops, especially at these 1.5 mile tracks, and it seemed to have worked out very well for the drivers that took 2. So maybe Polhemus and Sam Brochu are taking a note out of last week's book and trying to apply it here, as both of them jump both Van Drummond and Dominic Barbagallo, but they are still behind Malachi Drake in that number 90, as Malachi Drake chooses the inside line, and it's going to be Barrett Polhemus on right side tires, leading the outside line with Sam Brochu right behind him. Malachi Drake has a lot of hungry drivers, all hungry for $100 on the line here. So pace car lights are off. We are going to be going green flag racing this time by. We have 12 cars on the lead lap for 33 laps to go here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Malachi Drake is going to be leading the field back to the green flag after a great battle for the lead resulted in Adam Contreras going to the inside. But Adam Contreras is only back in 7th right now, so he has enough time to get back to the lead. But Malachi Drake leading the field to the green flag. Green flag is out, in a good start by that inside line. Seems like the 4 tires is better on the restarts compared to the outside line, since those top 2 on the outside lines only took right sides. Now Van Drummond looking to the outside of Malachi Drake. Malachi Drake not able to block to the high side. Is he going to side draft Van Drummond to try to pull him back? Here comes Aiden Walker all the way to the bottom. Can 3 wide work here? Malachi Drake just has to back out right here. But he also has Barrett Polhemus on his outside. He can't really go high to give Aiden Walker more room. Trevor Huff with a big shove to Aiden Walker. This is going perfectly for Van Drummond and disastrously for Malachi Drake, who is still stuck in the middle 3 wide, but it looks like it finally simmers out for him, as Drummond did get a big piece of the wall on corner exit. But now it is up to Aiden Walker, Trevor Huff, and Barrett Polhemus and Sam Brochu to try and catch up to that 2 car. 3 wide for 3rd place. Polhemus gets in the wall a little bit. They are 3 wide for 3rd between Sam Brochu, Barrett Polhemus, and Trevor Huff. Brochu squeezes Polhemus a little bit, and he has to get out of the gas to avoid hooking the 98. And now Brochu slides up right in front of the 79 to get a big push down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Brochu has to make up about 0.3 of a second within 30 laps. It's more than possible, but how long is it going to take? It's one thing to catch up to someone. It's another thing to pass them, as it looks like Brochu is getting really into the wall up top and impeding his progress just a little bit. Sam Brochu is actually about 0.5 of a second, I apologize, behind Van Drummond, but going further back through the field, it is mostly single file here. Most drivers opting to work together instead of slowing each other down by racing. Aiden Walker just seems to not have the pace that Van Drummond has at this current moment. Adam Contreras trying to work his way up. He's up to 6th, but he restarted in 7th. As we saw Trevor Huff going to the inside of Barrett Polhemus entering turns 3 and 4. They're going to remain side by side. Contact between the 54 and 79, and Polhemus comes around back onto the track. Does anyone hit him? I don't think so, as that could have been really bad. Luckily, everyone missed him. So Polhemus able to keep on going without too much damage. But let's get another look at that. as I don't know if I don't know exactly what happened. So we're looking at Barrett Bohemus and Trevor Huff. Trevor Huff is coming up the track. And yeah, Trevor Huff I think he got tight and just got into the quarter panel of Bohemus, sent him around. And Bohemus backs it in to the outside wall. And luckily not too much damage on that 79 car. All of that damage is very repairable and not race ending. But this also means less time to catch up to that number 2 of Van Drummond. And also, Bohemus was one of the cars that took 2 tires. So now the only car that took 2 tires that is left in this top 5 is Sam Brochu in the number 98 in third right now. Sean Rowe gets the free pass and unlaps himself. So he is going to be 1 lap down. He is definitely going to be praying for another caution to come on by to get back on the lead lap after spinning from the lead. But I believe next time by should be the 1-2 green here. Not much to say on these pace laps. Your current top 5 right now is Van Drummond, Aiden Walker, Sam Brochu, Trevor Huff, and Adam Contreras. And keep in mind, the winner of this race does get $100. So that's probably on a lot of people's minds right now. But Van Drummond choosing the outside line, Aiden Walker on the inside, Sam Brochu also choosing the outside line. So Walker might be able to have something for Van Drummond if he gets a good restart. But Van Drummond has done really well on the high side, and we have to go under caution for 1 more lap, as I believe not everyone has caught up to the field just yet. So the green flag is postponed by another about minute and a half. Excuse me. Everyone antsy to go back. Green flag racing. And it looks like we'll be doing it with 23 laps to go. Field all bunched up 2 by 2. And how many cars do we have on the lead lap? Currently we have 11 cars on the lead lap here, as Barrett Bohemus is the last car on the lead lap in 11th. All of these cars very, very capable of taking home the $100 at the end of all of this. but it seems to be that Van Drummond is the car to beat. Base car is in, and we will be finally going green flag race and waiting for Van Drummond to hit the loud pedal. Green flag is out, and a little bit of a wiggle from Aiden Walker. A good start from Sam Brochu as well, but Van Drummond with the best restart out of everyone, able to pull away by about 2 car lengths ahead of Aiden Walker. And now Sam Brochu on the outside of Trevor Huff, as he's going to get the draft from Aiden Walker. Zachary Trevino in battling with Dominic Barbagallo right now, but Trevor Huff to the inside of Sam Brochu coming across the start-finish line. Trevor Huff is still there and looking to pounce, not able to make a move on Brochu just yet. He's getting really close to that quarter panel of the 98. Has to back up. Adam Contreras now jumps to the inside of the 54. He's going to jump to the inside of Trevor Huff. He might get a little bit tight on corner exit, but both drivers make it out. Cora Metis, and I was about to say Cora Metis fighting with someone, but I saw Joseph Lewis go around. I couldn't see who it was. I believe it might have been Malachi Drake making contact with that 28 car, but still side-by-side racing for the time being, and the caution finally does come out. As let's see what happened with Malachi Drake and Joseph Lewis. So currently looking at the 28 of Joseph Lewis. Looks like he got dirty air from the 46, hits the wall, and just bounces down right across the nose of Malachi Drake. Nothing that Malachi Drake could do right there. Just an unfortunate turn of events for that 90 car. And yeah, just Lewis got tight and plowed the outside wall, and while he was turning, it just bounced him right across the nose of the 90. Took a pretty long time for that caution to come out. It did eventually end up coming out. As this race, or this whole event, has gone past the, I believe, 90-minute mark. Let me see how long this broadcast has been going on. We have been broadcasting for just under 2 hours. And we are still not finished with this race just yet. Not to mention that we still have interviews and everything to do after this for the top 3 finishers. But multiple cars do jump into pit lane. Sean Rowe, Joseph Lewis, James Thurston, Malachi Drake, Zachary Trevino, Dominic Barbagallo, Trevor Huff, and Sam Brochu all coming into pit lane. Adam Contreras has made his way into third. We saw how he was able to go blow for blow with Van Drummond. He just has to get around that 39. And I think that if Adam Contreras chooses whatever line that Van Drummond goes in, as long as Aiden Walker doesn't choose it as well, he might get around that 39 quite easily, because it seems like the 39 just does not get the best restarts, as a lot of times he's just gotten really sluggish restarts. That might just be old tires or something. I wouldn't really know what causes that, but it's also important to note that everyone behind Contreras is on slightly newer tires. Cora Metis, Barrett Pohemus, and Dominic Barbagallo are all on fresher tires than the top 3. So this difference in tires might be what leads to some interesting racing up front. but still single file, and it looks like we might be getting a single file. Yeah, we are getting a single file restart thanks to the quick succession of cautions that we've been having here during the All-Star race. And can you blame these drivers? I mean, you have a chance at $100 just being deposited into your bank account. I'd be going crazy too if it was $20. But 18 laps to go. We will be restarting with 17 laps to go. Celebratory crack of the Dr. Pepper can on broadcast. It's going to be Van Drummond leading the field to the green flag for what's hopefully the last restart of the night in a single file fashion, running all the way up near the wall. No one can pass him on this restart because he is so far up to the wall. Pace car is in for a very consequential restart, waiting for Drummond to hit the gas. And green flag is out. About an equal start for Van Drummond and Aiden Walker. Nothing really of note from this restart. Let's go to a wider camera angle to show more cars. As everyone is very strung out at the moment. Will Aiden Walker try something on that 2 car? Running a little bit higher up, maybe trying to get some clean air and get those runs off. As in the back, we see Cole Denton battling with James Thurston. That's not really relevant to this battle right here. Cora Metis to the outside of Barrett Polhemus in that 79 car. As Polhemus is able to get around Cora Metis for the 4th spot. We've seen how fast Polhemus is on the outside. Cora Metis looking to go back to the inside. And Adam Contreras has not caught up to Aiden Walker as fast as I would think he would catch up to. I'm sorry for the little gaff right there, but 15 laps to go. This is Van Drummond's race to lose. He's currently enjoying about a 0.3 of a second gap over Aiden Walker. And time is running out for Aiden Walker and Adam Contreras to find a way around, both to and around that 39 car. Fastest lap of the race was just set by Trevor Huff back in 8th place. He is driving the wheels off that car, trying to catch up to the leaders. But Adam Contreras and Barrett Polhemus have not been able to get around this 39. And now Polhemus looking to the inside of Adam Contreras. Almost gets into that 92. And Polhemus scrapes the wall pretty hard right there. This is going to kill a lot of momentum. That might get Cora Metis up to his inside. Entering turn 1. No, it doesn't. But Contreras trying to find a way around Aiden Walker, and it is just not going his way. He's just not able to get close enough. Contreras running the bottom and Walker running middle and then cutting down, maybe to take the air off the nose of that 92, but Walker did scrape the wall a little bit. This might just be the olive branch that Contreras needs to get past that 39. To the inside goes the 92. Not able to make anything happen of it. Here comes Polhemus rocketing by on the outside. Contreras dives to the inside coming into turn 3. Will he be able to make the move stick? He has to brake, or he has to get off the gas a lot more than Walker. Walker scrapes the wall a little bit, but Walker also has help from Polhemus. I know a big shove is coming from that 79, and now Polhemus and Contreras are battling for 3rd place. This is exactly what Van Drummond wants to see with 11 laps to go. The drivers behind him battling like their lives depend on it while he slowly pulls away. Contreras now battling with Polhemus for 3rd place. The gap has widened between Walker and Van Drummond to about 0.9 of a second. There's a little bit of a wiggle from Aiden Walker. Allows Polhemus to his outside, and now Polhemus is going to ride the rim of the track around the outside of Walker. Contreras slots in right behind the 79 And now we have a new second place driver. That is the 79 of Barrett Bohemus. Here comes Adam Contreras on the inside of Bohemus, and a big hit on the wall from Aiden Walker. He is sliding back like a rock, but now second and third place are battling, and Van Drummond continuing to pull away. If we don't get a caution soon, this might be wraps for the rest of the field, as Trevor Huff got really sideways down the backstretch. I don't know exactly what happened, but drivers are trying their hardest to get around Aiden Walker, as Bohemus has cleared Contreras for the time being, but the gap has widened between first and second to about 1.2 seconds with 8 laps to go. Sam Brochu getting around Michael Korometis for the 5th spot in that number 98, looking to make a move on the 39 of Aiden Walker. Not able to get to the inside, but I believe Bohemus might have scraped the wall a little bit, and this might be Contreras' opportunity to get to the inside. He's going to make a gutsy move to the inside, throws it in there, hopes the car sticks side by side through 1 and 2. Bohemus and Contreras still side by side down the backstretch. The side draft working to Contreras' favor. He's going to have a shallow entry into turns 3 and 4, not able to get the entry that he wants. So he's going to wash up just a little bit, but still side by side. Contreras has made up about half a car length on Bohemus throughout that last lap. 6 laps to go here in the All-Star race, and Contreras might be able to clear Bohemus. He's just able to squeeze out in front. Now he blocks slow Bohemus with the crossover into turns 3 and 4 on Adam Contreras. Now Bohemus dives it in. He's going to slide up the track. Will the crossover from Adam Contreras come into effect? A little bit of a bump from the 92 to the 79. And they are still side by side. What great racing we're having for second place. It might not be for the win, but they're racing like $100 depends on second place right now. And Contreras finally gets around Bohemus, but will Bohemus be able to launch a counterattack on that 92? Looks like it won't be happening this lap, and Dominic Barbagallo has made his way up into 4th place. Trevor Huff getting around Aiden Walker on the outside, but not able to clear him. If he went higher up, he would have surely been a wrecked car for sure. Side by side for 5th place between Aiden Walker and Trevor Huff. Huff on the inside, Walker using that outside, and Huff is going to be able to slide up right in front of the 39. 39 had a terrible corner exit, and now Sam Brochu able to get around the 39 as well, coming into turns 3 and 4. As Walker tries the crossover, and it's going to work on Brochu. I don't know what happened into the corner. Maybe he got a little loose or something. As big shove from Nicholas Martinez Jr. to the back of Sam Brochu. And for second place, Bohemus is trying to make something happen on that number 92, but the gap has extended for Van Drummond to 1.5 seconds. I think the last thing Van Drummond wants to see is the caution coming out. Two laps to go here for the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. And it is 2 laps to go for Van Drummond for $100. All he needs is a caution to not come out in this next 500 feet or so, and he'd be golden. White flag in the air for Van Drummond. No matter what, the next flag will end this race. Van Drummond just has to coast the car around, doesn't need to make any silly mistakes. He is 1.5 seconds to the good over Adam Contreras. Van Drummond, we knew he was going to be a contender for the All-Star victory throughout this entire race. He's showed his muscle, and he is going to win $100 in the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. What a race it was. And a very well-deserved win for Van Drummond in that 2 car. It's like Adam Contreras in second as well. So let's go through your finishing results real quick. Winning here at the All-Star race is going to be the number 2 of Van Drummond, followed by Adam Contreras, 1.5 seconds back. Then Barrett Bohemus, Dominic Barbagallo with a surprising 4th place finish. Then behind him, the 54 of Trevor Huff. Aiden Walker in 6th, followed by Sam Brochu, Malachi Drake, Michael Corometis, and Joseph Lewis secures a top 10 in the All-Star race. First driver outside the top 10 is the number 96 of James Thurston, and then the first car 1 lap down is the number 99 of Sean Rowe, followed by Nicholas Martinez Jr., Cole Denton, and Tyler J. Curley, the last car to finish this race. Zachary Trevino is the first car to DNF from this event, then followed by Max Ford, Brady Wildman, Chase Crawl, Ollie Reeves, Joey Beck, Jacob Malone, David Hamrick, and Shockey Tarpley. Well, while Van Drummond does his burnouts, let's go to standby for just 1 second while we wait for drivers to get into the interview booth. Okay, now that we have our drivers in the interview booth, I can start interviews. And coming home in first place, $100 richer, is the number 2 of Van Drummond. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you put on a heck of a show. Was it your plan to just go out and straight up dominate this race from the get-go?
Well, all I'm going to say is, and if they're going to watch it back, they were making fun of my name, calling me this stupid nickname in pre-race. I was like, I took that to heart. I took that to heart. Got the pole, and then she went ahead. And finally, dude, I have been so close to a legal win at Charlotte. It doesn't matter what league. For so long now. IORA, I led the most laps, had it in my hands, and then I got a randomly slow pit stop, and it put me behind. And another league on Monday, I had the winning strategy. I was on the way if it just went green, and then a caution came out in the 3-lap window where it shouldn't have. And then finally I won. I am at $100 richer, dude. Let's go. I love winning money off this, and then whenever it's a race like this where not everything goes your way, you have to have some adversity. Man, I was pumped. It was awesome.
Yes, you certainly had a very good performance here tonight in All-Star Race, but I do want to ask what happened between you and Adam Contreras, because you two were battling pretty hard, and then it just seemed like you two got together and that sent Adam around. What happened with that accident?
I really don't know. I'm not going to lie. I really don't know what happened. I think we might have just met at a bad spot. I could take a look at it real quick. Oh yeah, I mean, I saw him. He was way higher on the track, and then he came down, and I couldn't tell where he was at. I actually couldn't. My FOV's very far up, so I couldn't even tell where he was at. And then I didn't expect him to be right there because I saw he entered really high. It's probably on me, and I apologize to him. I didn't mean to. I'm just glad it was a simple spin and not nothing major, it does suck though because we're having a fun fight for the lead. But I think racing does happen, and I apologize, but we talked about it a little bit. He said we're good. It's just shit happens, and sometimes I don't know. That's all. That's really all I had.
So now that you're $100 richer by winning this race, what do you plan on spending the money on?
Probably just gonna keep it because I do IRL racing. I probably use it to get in my next race. To be honest, like the entry fee and stuff. So, but dude, I mean, I get to play with $100, and I get to go brag to my family that they didn't make $100 today, but I did.
Fair enough. So before we let you go and celebrate your newfound $100 of wealth, do you have any people or sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, now that they're actually on my race car, Capital Electric and the Cutting Edge, and they ran their first race on the car this Friday, and it ran pretty good until it didn't. But now I got them, albeit a very much smaller price-paying win, but one nonetheless. But I had fun. I mean, they might have, they were complaining on the radio. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just come up and pass. Okay, I'm not that cocky, but dude, I mean, I like the race we had. It was a bit rocky at times, but overall, bueno.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. That's a very happy Van Drummond, $100 richer after coming home victorious in the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. We will see you next week.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, now that I've done my interview with Van Drummond, we can go to the 92 of Aldom Contreras coming home in second place. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, bro?
So, I mean, this is a pretty good performance. You've had a pretty up and down season up to this point. What was your plan coming in for this race? Were you expecting such a good finish here at the All-Star race?
I was expecting a good finish. Maybe not the win because Van's just goated in clean air, but I was definitely expecting a top 5 at least. And we came in second after getting wrecked twice, so I'll take it.
So what you just said is a great segue. What happened between you and Van Drummond? Because Van Drummond said that his FOV was really far up and he couldn't really see what happened between you and him. So maybe you could provide a better insight since you were the car being sent for the spin cycle. So what happened between you and Van Drummond? Because you two were battling like crazy for the lead, and it was a very entertaining watch up to that point.
Yeah, I was just running the top, and then I was trying to cut down mid-corner to take his air away. And I don't know if I came down too much, that got me hooked, or I don't know if he came up a little bit. But yeah, we made contact out of 4, and it set me around. But I think it was just hard racing.
So if that didn't happen, do you think that you would have had a shot at being $100 richer tonight?
Maybe if that was the last run, I could hold him off for 10 laps. But I don't know if I could have held him off for, 60 laps to go at that point, or 50 or something like that. I don't know if I had enough tire in me to hold him off for that long.
Well, still, either way, a very respectable finish in second for Aldom Contreras. Do you have any people or sponsors you want to thank before we let you go and celebrate?
Yeah, I want to thank PBR, all my teammates on PBR, Burn Rubber Racing, and Schumi for putting on the league. It was a fun race. Hopefully we can carry this momentum into the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. You heard it from the man himself. That's the number 92 of Aldom Contreras. Obviously very happy with the second place finish. We will see you next week.
All right, thanks, bro.
Okay, and then one more person after this. It's the number 79 of Barrett Bohemus coming home in third place. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, bud.
So, I mean, I saw you all race ripping the top. Was that just your favorite line to run, or because you had some serious speed up there?
Yeah, I had some serious speed until the last 10 laps when it went away all of a sudden. I had no clue what happened, but yeah, I really love digging up top. It felt really solid up there just because there's no one up there. Clean air is key here, and then with the momentum you can build off the corner, it really is paramount to get that lane. It was really frustrating when other people would figure it out because then that kind of took my main lane away. And it was really hard for me to run the bottom. Yeah, I was just super comfortable up there. And honestly, it was just faster. Like once the tires got 10, 15 laps on them, maybe. I mean, the top was a good 2/10 quicker, um, at least in the first half of the race. But once everyone caught on to the top, the top lane started to heat up, and with the way the track model is right now, the lanes change around all the time. It's impossible to really pick the right one. Like the middle groove felt really good to me. Towards the end of the race there, I couldn't run the bottom because all of them was running the bottom. I felt like I was too tight to run there. I was super tight all night long. I think all of us were. It's just an unfortunate deal. Dirty air games, and then the caution that came out during the middle of the green flag pit cycle really screwed me over. And that's the same thing that happened in Chicagoland. And it just set me back from there. Van did really well to work through the traffic and get back up front. I'm not quite sure how he did that. I guess he just caught a few more breaks than I did. Maybe I wasn't aggressive enough. I'm not really sure. But yeah, just it's good to finally get a decent result in this series, but it's not for points. So I mean, I'll take what I can get though.
I mean, either way, you'll have some positive energy going into the next race. Do you think anything could have gone differently to where you could have been the person $100 richer and not Van Drummond?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I mentioned, the caution that came out during the middle of the green flag pit cycle definitely hindered my chances, and then getting turned off of 4 down the front stretch definitely didn't help either. So I had to fight my way from the back quite a bit, and I was carrying some lingering damage that last run of the race, despite the tire advantage that I had. The tire advantage was very, very slight. I guess I could have moved around a little bit more, tried to find a few different lanes to work better for me. Other than that, I mean, I just need the circumstances to go my way a little bit better, and then I think I would have been able to really give Van a run for his money, literally.
So before we let you go and ride this momentum into the next week, do you have any people or sponsors you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, big thanks to PPG Esports, Jason Alexander, and Riley Marabello. Run a good team over there. Happy to be a part of this organization, and thank you to my teammate Sam for running me clean and running me honest all the way. I really enjoy working with him every single week. And all my teammates really, they're not just good teammates, they're really good friends as well. So it's always a joy to get to run with them. And big thanks to Snowman Studios, Wyatt Dooling for making this really, really flashy race car. It's a good looking machine, if I do say so myself. So yeah, big thanks to all those guys for putting in work off the track so I can put in the work on it.
Well, you heard from the man himself, a very direly needed good finish for the driver of the 79. That's Barrett Bohemus coming home third. We will see you next week. Okay, so now that is out of the way, I can turn the camera to Scenic real quick if I can find it. Here we go. And then I can get this off the screen. So, that concludes today's broadcast of the SRL Snowman Studios Motorsports Designs Cup Series All-Star Race. I'm your host, Garrett Hess. Big thank you to SKS Graphics for their ticker help alongside Andrew Schulte. And what a race it was. It was a little rocky towards the beginning, but we had a great race towards the end. So I hope that everyone watching, have a good night, have a good rest of the week, or have a good week.